Bienvenidos a una edición más de El secreto de mi éxito. Y hoy tenemos un invitado muy especial, una persona que ha escrito más de 50 libros, miles de horas en audiolibros, seminarios, y yo creo que uno de los principales oradores de este país, y a mi juicio, el motivador empresarial más importante de los Estados Unidos y yo creo que del mundo, la leyenda Brian Tracy. Brian, bienvenido, es un gusto.
Bienvenido, Luis.
Gracias, muchas gracias por recibirnos en tu estudio.
Muchas gracias.
Ok, y para mi audiencia, que muchos de ellos son emprendedores, que están empezando su propio negocio, yo quisiera que me contaras, ¿cómo empezaste tú a ser emprendedor?
Well, I began my life working as a laborer, and I had poor education, and I lived in my car,
Wow.
and I washed dishes, and I worked in construction and factories, and I think many people can relate to that. And then one day I began to ask, why is it that some people are more successful than others? And I noticed many people around me who were more successful. They had more money, they had nicer cars, better homes, same age as me. And so I went and asked them, and they told me. And I realized that success is predictable. That means if you do certain things in a certain way, you will be much more successful than if you don't. So I began to do more things that were right and fewer things that were wrong.
Muy interesante, very interesting. Brian, me surge una pregunta cuando te escucho, porque muchas personas en este momento quieren empezar el negocio, encuentran que tú empezaste prácticamente de cero, ellos también lo están empezando igual. Cuéntanos, ¿cuál es el secreto de tu éxito?
Well, there is no single secret of success. There are hundreds of things that you have to do. The most important quality for success is self-discipline. It's self-discipline. You see, most people know that they need to get up earlier, and they need to work harder, and they need to study and become better at what they do, and they need to set goals and manage their time and learn new things. They know this, but they don't have the discipline to do it. So the starting point of success is always self-discipline.
Okay. Si una persona que nos está viendo quisiera empezar un negocio, ¿cuál sería la primera persona que tendría que visitar o pedir consejo?
Well, I was thinking about this before we spoke, Luis. What is the problems? And the problems are always fear and ignorance. Fear is fear of failure, and fear of rejection, and fear of embarrassment, and fear of loss of money, and fear of even asking people to buy your product or service. So fear is the first biggest obstacle. The second is ignorance, is people don't know what they're doing. If you were in a foreign country and you were lost and you could not read the road signs, you might be very afraid because you don't know where you are or what you're doing. So here's the wonderful discovery, is the way that you overcome fear and ignorance is with knowledge and skill. You see, if you know how to cook a recipe in the kitchen or drive a car or do your work, you have no fear about that because you have learned the skill. And making money is a skill. Starting a business is a skill. But tens of millions of people worldwide start businesses. So therefore, obviously, it is a learnable skill. You can learn how to start a business. The key is to start small and then learn as you grow from a small business. So you will find that the biggest businesses in America, almost all of them started with one person, maybe two, at home, at a kitchen table, with no money. And then they got experience. They made lots of mistakes. In business, you fail over and over again before you succeed. It's normal. So if you're afraid of failure, I mean, you'll never succeed.
Yeah.
We don't like to fail, but that is the only way we can learn the lessons necessary for success. So the key to being successful in business is to start, is to begin, is to make a decision. I'm going to start my own business. Now, there's a book on the bookstores that's entitled 1001 Ways to Start a Business with Less Than $100. So people think, well, I have to have a lot of money. No, you just have to have ambition and self-discipline. And you can start 1,000 businesses with less than $100.
Viene a raíz de tu respuesta, además es mi caso, yo empecé less than 1,000, con menos de $1,000. Pero viene a mi cabeza, ¿los emprendedores nacen o se hacen?
Remember, if you can ride a bicycle, if you can drive a car, if you can use a cell phone or a computer, these are all skills that you did not have at one time, and now you have those skills. You can learn how to start a business, you can learn how to sell, you can learn how to negotiate. I have taught more than 5 million people these skills over the years: how to sell, how to negotiate, how to be a good manager, how to manage money. These are all skills that you can learn. All business skills are learnable skills. Everyone who has the skills today at one time did not have those skills, and just went to work to learn the skills.
So, ¿dirías tú que la educación, qué tan importante es para una persona que tiene un negocio o empieza un negocio?
It's very important. You see, your outer world will always be a mirror of your inner world. So if you have limited business skill, you can have only a little business. And that's okay, because everyone starts off with no business skills and a small business. And then as you learn and grow, you become more competent on the inside, which means you can grow a bigger business on the outside. And you can go faster by learning, going to seminars, reading books, listening to audio programs. By becoming a lifelong student of business success, you can become successful far faster than the average person.
Es exacto, es decir, si uno acorta la línea de aprendizaje, si uno escucha personas como tú. La siguiente pregunta es, conociendo todo esto, ¿por qué crees tú que tantas personas fracasan en los negocios de Internet?
Well, the number one reason is ignorance, is they do not know what they are doing. We have had an Internet business for 10 years. When we started, our sales were about $1,200 per month. Today our sales are $150,000 per month.
Wow.
And we made many mistakes. And you try many things. Because it's possible to earn money on the Internet, many people think it's easy to earn money. But it is no different from any other business. The only thing that is true in business is that it is hard work. And a person must be prepared to work very, very hard for a long time to be successful. And sometimes people will sell an Internet program that says, if you buy my program, tomorrow morning money will start to come in. That's simply not true. This is simply not true. It's very hard to build a successful business. It's possible, but it requires mucho trabajo.
Tal vez la gente fracasa porque no tiene los conocimientos de negocio.
Exactly, but they can learn this skill.
This is a good part.
Now here's another piece of advice. You asked me earlier, why is it that Hispanics do not form as many businesses as other cultures? For example, the Koreans, 68% of Korean immigrants start businesses. Mm-hmm. 50% of Jamaican immigrants start businesses. Some immigrant groups start a lot of businesses. Well, a lot of it has to do with culture. And whoever you associate with determines your thinking. So one piece of advice I give people is that if you want to be successful in business, associate with other successful Hispanic business people. Don't associate with people who have no ambition. Associate with people who have ambition. And never be afraid to ask for advice. If a person was watching this and they wanted to start a business, the first thing they should do is find a successful Hispanic business person in their community and go to them and say, may I ask for your advice? I just need 10 minutes of your time. I'm thinking of starting a business. Could you give me some advice? What would be a good business to start? What would be the first thing I should do? And the most amazing thing is people will always help you. And they will save you many months, many years of mistakes. The biggest business mistakes that I have ever made come from not asking for advice. And so you always become on the outside what you think about. So if you think about being a successful business person, and you talk to other successful business person, they become your models. And you start to think, what could you do to be like them? If you associate with people who have no ambition, those people become your models, and you have no ambition. And it's not just a Hispanic problem, it's a problem throughout the world.
How we can improve the Hispanic community in order to change a little bit their mind. ¿Cómo podemos cambiar la comunidad hispana para que cambie un poco su manera de pensar y pueda empezar su negocio?
Every study of successful people comes to one conclusion at the beginning. If successful people accept 100% responsibility, responsabilidad, they accept, I am responsible. Yo es responsable. I am responsible. No excuses. I don't blame other people. I don't blame my parents or my history. I am responsible. And once you accept responsibility, then you say, I am responsible for what? Well, I am responsible for financial success. And if it's going to happen, I must do it. And no excuses. And when a person accepts responsibility, they immediately move up into the top 20% of people in our society in their thinking. And everything starts with your thinking. So now they say, I am responsible. If something goes wrong, they say, wait, I am responsible. They do not become angry. They don't criticize other people. They don't complain. They don't make excuses. They accept responsibility. You are successful in your field because you accept responsibility. It is the great mark of leadership and the great mark of maturity. Because until you accept responsibility, you are still a child. And children are passive. They wait for someone to take care of them.
You need to be proactive.
You need to be proactive. Yes.
What is the right time to start a business?
The right time is always now.
Now.
Yes. In study after study, a friend of mine who's worth many hundreds of millions of dollars in entrepreneurial business, he said to me recently, he said, the most important thing is to act now. He just finished writing a book, and it's for entrepreneurs, and it says, act now. Don't wait for things to change. Most of the biggest businesses in America were started during an economic downturn, during a depression or a recession. People became very motivated. They had to work very hard. They had to be very determined. And as a result, they started and built a business. And when the economy turned around, their business began to grow rapidly. So now is the time.
Yo creo lo mismo. Creo que estamos viendo cómo a raíz de que mucha gente se quedó sin trabajo, tiene que buscar otras opciones. Y una buena opción es comenzar su propio emprendimiento, pero comenzarlo bien.
Yes. Now, the core of business, the most important part, the meat in the tortilla in business is to market, which means to find people who are interested in your product or service and then to sell. And fortunately, marketing and selling are learnable skills. The one thing that holds companies back, small and large, is low sales. And many people are afraid of rejection, afraid of failure when they sell a product. And so they think, well, I have to sell my product to be successful, and people will reject me, so they don't even start. So here is the key. The key is to fall in love with the word no. No. Because it is the word no that stops all your dreams. The word yes comes after you receive the word no many times. So many top salespeople, top entrepreneurs, they will ask and go back and ask. And when someone says no, 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 they don't care. They just keep asking. And finally, someone says yes. And someone else says yes. So if you can overcome your fear of the word no when you ask someone to buy your product or service, then you can be a big success.
Great. Great. If you have to start all over again,
Yes.
knowing that you know,
Yes.
what would you do different? Si tuvieras que empezar de nuevo todo, sabiendo lo que ya sabes, ¿qué harías diferente?
I would do more research before I began. I would do a better plan. I would get advice from other people in my business before I started, because I made every mistake that was possible for the first 3 to 5 years. And it cost a lot of time and a lot of money. If I had gone and asked for advice, I could have saved myself an enormous amount of time and trouble. So that's the first thing I would do. I would ask for advice, and then I would make a plan. And then I would focus 80% of my time on selling my product or service. Focus 80% on sales. Because without the sales, nothing is possible. With the sales, everything is possible. If you have no sales, you cannot make any mistakes. The number one reason why companies succeed is because of high sales. The number one reason that companies fail is because of low sales. So I would focus on sales all the time. And that's how I turned my business around when it almost went broke, is I stopped everything and I went out and I went and worked all day, every day on sales.
¿Me podrías dar, yo sé que tú sabes muchísimas claves secretas para que un negocio sea exitoso, ¿me podrías dar 3?
Okay. Secret number 1 is that the key to business success is to have an excellent product or service from the beginning, because competition is very determined today, and if you do not have an excellent product or service, you cannot sell it and you cannot survive. So I would focus on finding a product or service that you can offer that is truly excellent. It is something that helps people, that improves the life or work of people. After people have used your product, they are happy and they want to buy it again and they want to tell other people. So number 1 key in marketing is to have a good product in the first place. Many people start into business and they think that they can sell an average product or sometimes a bad product that's no good, but they think they can find a way to sell it and make some money. The key to success is to serve other people, is to think, how can I help my customers? The second thing is you must love your product. You must love your product. You cannot ever sell a product that you don't use yourself, that you would not sell to your mother and your father and your friends. You must really care about your product. You must think, this product is good. I want other people to enjoy the benefits of this product. And then the third thing is just to work all day long in sales and talking to people. Focus all of your energies on selling your product to other people. So first of all, have a good product. Second of all, love the product yourself. And third of all, spend all of your time telling people about the product.
Okay. Tú eres un excelente motivador. ¿Qué te motiva a ti?
Well, I read all the time. I listen to audio programs. I attend seminars and learn from other people. And it keeps me motivated. I wake up every morning now and I'm happy because I have programmed myself so that I am always positive, no matter what happens. I had cancer last year, and I had cancer of the throat, which is very bad for a speaker.
Yeah, of course.
And throughout the entire process, which was 6 or 8 months, I worked every day. I was smiling the whole time. I was busy and positive and optimistic because it's now become automatic for me.
Leí tu blog cuando contabas sobre tu cáncer y me inspiró muchísimo. I read your blog when you talk about your cancer and how you handle the enfermedad, etc.
Sí.
Okay. ¿Quién te inspira a ti?
Everybody I listen to. There's thousands of people who have good ideas. I read, as I say, I read books, I read quotes, and I've memorized many of these things. So I'm just always positive.
Where did you get the ideas?
Well, they come to you. I teach some different ways to get ideas, but basically just writing ways down. Here's an exercise for our listeners. It's very powerful if you have the discipline to do it. You take out a sheet of paper, and at the top you write a question. And the question is, what can I do to double my income in the next 12 months? Question mark. Okay? And then you write 20 answers to that question. 20 answers.
Diferentes ideas.
Yes, 20 answers. And you say, oh, I could work harder. I could work longer hours. I could do more important work. I could take a second job. I could start a business. You just keep writing. And what will happen is as you begin to write, the answers will start to come faster and faster. And usually and very often it's answer number 20 that changes your life. But you must discipline yourself to write 20 answers to the question, what can I do to double my income in the next 12 months? And you will be amazed at how many ideas you have.
Wow. Excelente. Excelentes ideas. Brian, ¿cuál es tu sueño?
Mi sueño is to create 1 million entrepreneurial millionaires. 1 million men and women who become millionaires as the result of starting their own business. And my job is to help them and give them the tools and the insights and ideas that they need to be successful. And already there are many thousands of people all over the world who have become millionaires as the result of my material and my seminars. I would like the number to be 1 million.
Great. Para las personas que nos están viendo, Brian quiere crear 1 millón de millonarios y yo quiero que tú seas uno de esos millonarios, que todos podamos ser uno de esos millonarios, que nuestra comunidad hispana tenga más millonarios para que podamos sacar adelante a nuestras familias. Queremos que nos hables un poco más sobre el material que tú tienes, porque queremos que nuestra comunidad pueda comprar tus libros, asistir a tus seminarios, que sabemos que son excelentes. Yo he tenido la oportunidad de asistir al Total Business Master y un excelente seminario que además quiero compartir con algunas ideas con la gente que quiere empezar un negocio.
Well, remember, your brain is like clay, and you can shape your brain. They have discovered this in the last 10 years, that your thinking, your brain is not fixed like concrete. It's flexible like clay. And the material that you feed into your brain actually changes your patterns of thinking. So if you read positive material and you have positive conversations and you listen to positive material, you actually begin to reprogram your mind so you're positive, you're more optimistic, you're more creative, you see more possibilities, and you have more energy, you are more ambitious, you have greater self-confidence. By simply feeding your mind, like you would feed your body with healthy food, you feed your mind with healthy food, so that you're always learning new things that make you more positive and more capable of achieving your goals.
Perfecto, muy bien, muchas gracias, Brian. Las dos últimas preguntas, ¿cómo ves las últimas preguntas que te quiero hacer? ¿Cómo ves tú el futuro?
Well, I think the future is what you make of it. There will be successes and failures in the future, but you can make a decision that you are going to be a big success. Today we have 90% employment. 91% employment, we have 9 or 10% unemployment. So therefore, concentrate on the fact that 90% of people are working and they need products and services and the things that your business can provide. Don't worry about the ones that are unemployed, because there will always be positives and negatives.
¿Y cuál es el mensaje, the last question that I have, cuál es el mensaje que tú tienes para esas personas que nos están viendo en este momento y que quieren cambiar su vida, que quieren empezar un negocio o mejorar el negocio?
There are 2 reasons for success in all of life. Number 1 is to begin, to get started. Begin with no guarantees, begin with fear, but just begin, start. Like a long journey, take the first step. The second key is to keep on moving, never stop. Decide for yourself, I will never give up, no matter how many disappointments or failures, and you will have many disappointments and many failures. This is normal, and it's natural, and it's unavoidable. But you make a decision, no matter what happens, I will never quit. I will continue. And what I have found, and I have spoken to many people who started with nothing as immigrants from different countries, who are now millionaires, every single person says the same thing. The reason I succeeded was because I would not give up. No matter what happened, I almost went bankrupt. Some people did go bankrupt. They lost everything, but they never quit. And that's the key. Get started and keep going.
Gracias, Brian. Pues realmente muy motivador. Muchísimas gracias. Y recuerden, no se pueden rendir. Ustedes también pueden. Estamos aquí en Solana Beach, en California, con Brian Tracy, la leyenda. La persona que ha cambiado la vida de muchísimos emprendedores, que ha logrado que muchas personas comiencen sus negocios y mejoren sus negocios. Ustedes también lo pueden hacer, así que recuerden que el éxito es mejor buscarlo que sentarse a esperarlo.